Hey everybody, welcome back to City Skylines. Hope you're having a great day. It's been about 2 weeks since I've played this game, and I come back into it to see about recording this, and noticing a couple of problems. And I didn't anticipate this problem, probably because I have a very limited. I thought I had a pretty good understanding of fluid dynamics, but I mean, I'm not an expert on that, or I'm not an engineer, or I'm not a physicist or anything like that. So maybe my rudimentary understanding of fluid dynamics is not adequate, but it stands to reason to me that if you remove, or rather, let's put it this way, it stands to reason to me that if you do not change how much water is flowing into an area, that, and you don't change how much water is flowing out of an area, that the flow of that water will remain relatively constant in its supply. So I'm thinking about it like a faucet, and you put a glass under the faucet to fill it with water. If you do not change the size of the glass, and you don't change the flow coming out of the faucet, then the level in that glass will rise at a very steady pace. It won't change, right? You don't just magically get water or lose water in that system. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Let me put it another way. To my understanding, the water that's on our map is coming from this source, right? If I take a look at this overlay, it says it's flowing this direction. So it stands to reason to me that if I do not increase the size of this in area, and I don't increase anything else, all things being equal, we should have the same amount of water flowing through this system always, right? Now, I opened up this area, and I'm noticing something, right? At this point, we had water flowing slowly, okay? Relatively slowly. And then this is a very fast flow, all right? Now, because we've made this a very fast flow, I'm worried that it's making the water level rise in my city a lot faster than it used to. And I've got some evidence to back this up. And in fact, I've already tried to record this video and learned the hard way exactly what's happening. And I needed to like understand it. So I wanted to come back to you here to try to understand it. So if this is the sole source of water coming in, we have a set volume of water that's flowing through this system. Now, when we make it narrow here, and it's because I can't influence this tile until my city grows. So like once I do, then great. But because I made this narrow, it's flowing faster, right? The same volume of water into a tighter space equals faster flow, okay? And it's gonna come out, and then it's gonna whip around this way now because it can, and then it slows down. But for some reason, opening this up, despite not changing the flow on this side, opening this up leads to us having more water coming into our city. And that results in walls that used to be high up now being underwater. The water level is rising. We have a little bit of water in there too. And I first noticed this when I looked at my water pumping station and saw that it was getting water damage from being underwater, which shouldn't be happening. I then looked over here, and this wall is not nearly as high as it used to be. And I think this area is at risk of flooding. In fact, I know it's at risk of flooding because I'm seeing the water level rise up onto areas that it didn't usually exist on before. And so this got me thinking, okay, well, how do I slow down this water? Really, what would be the cause of this? I think adding this here has created a better aesthetic, but it's also made this narrower. And so in theory, water can flow through here, volume of water wise. If we're going to have the same volume of water flowing through this, it needs to flow at a faster pace, but it isn't flowing at a faster pace. It's staying the same. So the water is starting to get backed up behind the choke point, which is this narrow area here is the choke point. So we're getting water backing up right here. And when I opened this up, I didn't think I was adding more volume to the flow. I just thought I was redirecting it, and eventually we would see this dry up, which is kind of what I wanted. I wanted to see this dry up, and then we could go from there. What I might have to do though, once I get access to this tile, is just make this whole thing land and then just have the river flow the way I want it to flow, which is to have it squiggle and then come around and then flow like that. And then this would no longer be a river anymore. That's what I was going to do. But something is telling me that perhaps my understanding of City Skylines isn't up to par here, because if I do this, I've already tried this and I know it works. If I do this, now we established already that the water is coming from there, right? So it's coming and flowing through here. If we take a look at the flow one more time, it's flowing this direction and it's slower this direction, but it's still going that way. Okay, so if it's doing that, then you'd think doing this right here would cut the flow entirely from this area. We wouldn't get any flow through here. That's what you'd think. But that's wrong. This area will never dry up. And in fact, not only does it never dry up, but it flows this direction still. Which is very weird. Because I don't understand where it's getting the water from. So another thing I thought of doing is cutting off this side here too. So I would cut this off. And I would do that. And you'd think, okay, well, that will take this completely out of the equation. And there's no flow through here anymore. It's still flowing from this side to this side because it's higher up here than it is here. But all that does is push the river out this way and start to flood this area. So it's still coming from here, but since it can't exit, it's going to now flood this area. And now we're going to start having this area over here. Eventually, if I let this run, this area here will get flooded with water. And this does not dry up. So that's, again, very strange. If I don't want this area to flood, what I have to do is this. And it doesn't make any sense to me. And that's where I'm looking for your feedback. Because maybe my knowledge is limited here too far on, the flow of water and everything. But what I'm going to do is this. Now, upon doing this, I'm effectively blocking the flow of water completely to its endpoint. It cannot exit now. The water's coming in and it has nowhere it can go. So we're going to see things over here. The water level over here should now rise. And it should rise to be level with up here, which is going to basically flood this entire area. Well, I don't want that either, right? So I know this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do it like this, but this is how it goes. We're going to let's change how that is. I don't need that. We're going to bring this up really tall. All right, really tall, and we're going to make this a giant wall that goes around here like this. Okay, I know it's ridiculous. Shouldn't have to do that, but now I've created this huge dam area where this water can collect, and just based on my very limited knowledge of how water works, this wall here being higher than the mouth of the river should lead to us seeing this fill up, or maybe not fill up, but it should now, it's like a big dam, and the water level will rise over here and eventually fill up and just flood this whole area, right? I mean, that's how it should work. Anyway, I don't have access to these tiles, so flood away, but that's what I'm seeing should happen. That's what I'm thinking should happen. Okay, so we're gonna close that off and we're gonna see what happens there. And upon doing this right here, the water level in this area will now recede, and we should now see the road no longer get underwater, but we're still gonna be left with these little pockets of water that couldn't escape. So what I need to do in this video is an awful lot of work for very little to gain. But I think I need to make this higher up. So we need to raise this up so it's going to be able to handle that extra water. We need to make this higher up as well, and put these up well above the water level. And we then need to redo this, and I really just don't want to. I don't want to redo this. And so one of my questions is it worth it? Can we just leave this here and just not have a river that flows? I don't want to sound like I'm annoyed, but I've kind of wasted my morning on this problem right now. And I got such limited time to record videos now with family stuff. I'm a family guy, as many of you know, and it's the holidays, as most of you know, and that leads me to, you know, you got to do things for Christmas with your family. You got to do things, you know, for your kids, and there's lots of traveling and shopping and all sorts of things to do. And I've started spending a lot more time with my son lately. Last couple of days, I've spent several hours per day with him, just playing around. My old PC, some of you guys know that I've recently built a new PC that I've been recording content on. My old one, I didn't sell it. It's upstairs, and I've introduced my son to PC gaming with it. So now he has got introduced to it, and he's started playing with, like puzzle games and stuff to kind of get his mind working. I got him going on Mini Metro right now to, learn problem solving, and you create a little solution, and you're like, oh no, this is messed up now, and then you feel good when you solve it. Aha, I solved that one, and he's trying to beat his score and stuff. So that's a really cool game to get going with for an 8-year-old. And I've also got him into, my kid's smart. He understands, violence is in the world. He gets it. There's things that happen. He understands right from wrong. He's a smart kid. So I've got him working on some games that are maybe for kids that are a little older as well. Like The Escapists, for example, is an interesting game because you can try to figure out how to escape from a prison, right? And I think that the graphics and stuff are incredibly retro and all these things. And so I've got him working on that one too. And then of course he sees the things that, the YouTube videos. I can't keep him off of YouTube videos forever or anything, especially since, dad's over here making them, right? So, he's trying to get into Minecraft and Fortnite and things like that too. And I'm not really participating so much in those, but it's a thing he wants to do. And so, as a matter of, trying to get him introduced to that, I've been spending some extra time with him and stuff. And, he's very supervised and everything on things. And, so yeah, there's a little less time for content and a little more time for family this time of year. And, I hope you guys are okay with, I know you are. Every time I say stuff like this, I get comments that I don't want to say they warm my heart. That's a little cliche, but I get encouraged by just the understanding that people have when they come out and there's like, that's really cool that you do that. That you got to spend time with your kids. You take all the time you need for family and all that stuff, and we'll be here when you get back and all those things, and I appreciate that. I do. Viewership on videos, though, this time of year, it always falls greatly, and income is severely limited when that happens. So I will say that while I appreciate all of the warm and kind thoughts that you guys will share for that kind of thing, it is still a stressful time for me, because not releasing videos is a direct and immediate impact on my income. So even though I'm doing the right thing by spending time with my kids, I'm also, if any momentum that my channel had is just poof, gone. And that does definitely create some stress. So hopefully when I say these things, you guys understand where I'm coming from on that, where I say that it's something that I know I need to do more of is family, but not working, not creating content as much is something that I find to be a Debbie Downer situation. Okay. I find this to be like how do I solve this problem? Okay. So hopefully you guys are here when I get back. I'm kind of having like a Bob Ross situation right now where I'm just casually talking about something while I paint pretty clouds, or in this case, I'm painting the landscape. Gosh, you know what? Like I probably should just redo this road to make it taller. Like all of this stuff just needs to be raised up, and I don't even know if that's enough, because from what I've seen, the water level just keeps going. It's almost like it just doesn't flow fast enough. I need another outlet for the water, and I can't do that. I don't have access to the tiles I would need. Otherwise, what I would do is I would direct this flow, right? We would take this river here and I'd direct the flow to be around this way and then dump it into here. And then it would just flow down this part, and that would bypass the city. And I think that's a great solution. So when the city grows up a bit more and we get access to more tiles, I think I'm going to focus on getting these two for sure so that I can manipulate that. Getting this one. And then getting this one. And then maybe like a line of tiles out this way so that I can redirect this river to be in here. And I think that would probably solve it too, without having to redo all this stuff, because this stuff is so low. But it needs to be done. It has to be done. I have to raise this up. So we're going to delete this. This is too low. And we're going to pull this back, as much as I hate to do it, because making these roads is such a pain in the ass. But I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to pull this stuff back, at least to here. I think this one maybe is high enough. But as long as we keep it this level all the way around, we should be good. And then on this side, I think we probably need to eliminate most of these businesses, unfortunately. Most of these homes as well. So that we can raise this road to be higher. And so I think I'll take away this, all the way out here. Probably out to, let's go, right about here. It looks like it starts to dip down a bit. So I guess we'll have to pull it all the way back from here. And again, it's such a pain in the ass to have to do this, but I'm going to do it because it just has to be done. So any building that's like, you know, what people built themselves, we'll just delete it. If there's any parks or anything like that, I think it's probably cheaper to just move it out of the way. And that also reminds me that I have to, you know, put it back. So I'll bring this over here and then just delete that a little bit there. And then I think once we're done with this, I think we'll see that everything will be a little bit healthier here, because we have these buildings are really raised up, right? And there's no reason why we can't just, you know, bring the terrain out to be that high, and it'll flow a lot better that way, right? We'll have the road up that high, and you know, hopefully that means the water won't get us by having things be a lot higher. These act as flood walls, literally, right? So this is a little bit higher than it was. I don't know if it should be higher than this. We're obviously gonna have the road on top of that even, so it's probably what I should do here is it not possible for me to make this? There it goes. I must have been like stuck on a specific elevation, but I want this to be up higher. Definitely in this area for sure, because the water is like really going to collect here. So we're just gonna kind of paint this area a little bit right here. There we go. And then we'll take this road away and we'll redraw it, but we'll redraw it once it's been raised up a bit. So raise it up a bit like that, you know, just make it up higher like this. And we can, you know, probably do something like this just to make this all even-ish. And then if I bring that road back, maybe these guys don't have to lose their home. There we go. And then we need to do the zoning on this. There we go. This one here looks like it is, I don't know. I zoned it correctly, so maybe it was already abandoned. Wrong zone or outside the zoning grid. Okay, well, hang on. Now, I'm pretty sure, you know what it is? I think it needs to be further back. Oh, hang on, I messed that up. What were you? You're the row houses. Okay, hang on. So give the row houses back here. Oh, that's no good. Okay, we'll have to paint this custom here. We're gonna go like this. There we go. I don't know what this one's doing, but it's probably gonna go away. So if it deletes itself, it deletes itself, I guess. But I have the medium density housing placed in here. The only thing I could do here else is row houses or have like a mixed housing thing. You know, I could do that maybe and just let them build something else there. That's probably fine. And then this side, yeah, the zoning changed here, and that's why this building's going to go away too. That's unfortunate. We'll have another mixed zone right here then. Oh, really? No. Wow. Yeah, the footprint on that building is way over there. Okay, well, we might put one of my parks there then. But either way, this area is getting very disrupted. Okay, so with that being done, we're going to want to make sure that nobody is building in this area for now. Just going to have to delete you anyway. So let's pull that back like that. This painter mansion, it's probably in an okay spot for Operation Flood Wall. I don't know what we're going to call it. It's Operation Flood Wall for now. Let's move this dog park to be over here for now. Get rid of this road. And then I'm going to also ditch this one. And I think we'll ditch this one too. And now we'll start raising this up and having it come up even higher. So, again, I hate doing these walls, but it's just the way it goes. We're going to say that we're going to place this. I think probably... man, can you cooperate with me? No? Let's go down to like 2.5. Right there. No? Nothing? Come on now. Yeah, it's going to be a dork to me. Which, I mean, I guess it's not that high up. I need to make things even higher than that, don't I? This is going to take a bit. So I'm going to do this offline here. And then I'll bring you back and show you what I've done. But you've already seen me do these things. It's just a lot of time. And to prevent flooding, though, it's necessary. We just have to do it. We got to prevent the flood. So I'll be right back. Okay, these walls, much higher than they used to be. Okay? Maybe not these ones. They're about the same. But this one here, definitely higher than it used to be. And it has compatibility with all the same zoning and stuff that it used to have as well. So we'll be able to do something with that. Now, I do, like I said before, I want to kind of solve some of these traffic issues. We have lots of cars coming through here. We need alternative routes. And so I'm thinking this area right here is what I was looking at. I think this could be an interesting opportunity in this area. Now, I was going to go with a roundabout here because it does seem to make sense, but I don't think there's anywhere where I can really put this and maintain the wall because it doesn't work there. However, if I can go like this with the road instead, bring this over. Can I upgrade you without destroying any buildings? No, not really. I really would like to, but we're just gonna have to make do with what we got. So we're not gonna be able to upgrade this one, but we're gonna take this road and we're gonna bring it right there. And of course we can, oh wow, you're gonna just do that. Okay, cool, I'll do this instead. I'd like to get it to where it's, yeah, about like that. All right, oh, okay. Yep, okay, good. From there, then I think I can get a roundabout put in right there like this. Yes, so this roundabout could be quite big because it's going to be a little bit crowded in this area, and because we're going to go over this road with a bridge, so we're going to say 4 roads divided, and we're going to do something about like this. I think if it lets me do it, and it looks like it will. Good. So we're going to go across there like so. All right. So there's another bridge that lets them go from this side all the way over to this side, okay? Now, in this spot right here, what I would really like to put in, and I think at first might look better if I at least flattened this out to where it was the same elevation as the road. So let's just get this road, get the land here to kind of be level with this road so it looks all the same. That seems pretty good there. This building is definitely going to shape the land for itself too, but if I don't do it right now, right next to this road, I may never get the opportunity to do it. So go about like that. That seems pretty good. Contour lines are a little harder to see in this game than they are in like Workers and Resources, for example, the other game we're playing. And I wish they were a little bit easier to see, but I get it. It's fine. So that'll do. For that. That looks pretty nice. What I would like to put here, what I think would look really cool here, is the Center for Disease Control. The Disease Control Center. It gives us negative 25% health effects from pollution citywide, so I can put polluting buildings closer to people. Good. And it also decreases our infection risk by 25% citywide. So easing up on the healthcare system. That's all good things. So we're going to go without grid here, and we are going to try to find a great spot for this. It looks super cool. And I think I want it to be right here. Right. Angle it just a little bit more this direction, I think. Right about like, I need to leave enough room by the roundabout. So right about there, I think. Bam. I think that looks pretty dang cool there. So we're going to give it its own little cul-de-sac. I hope I left enough room for that. So we're going to say, yeah, right about here. Yep. Like this. And then it kind of comes in like that. And then this goes right to the... There, like that. That's fine. Now, it doesn't look the cleanest here. I probably could have done that a little bit better, but it's fine. And then we'll have some trees on this street as well. Lots of trees everywhere. All right. Hardly anybody's going to use this street. I probably should clean this up a little bit because it doesn't look great doing that. So I'll clean this up a little bit. Let's say we go about here with it. And let's go off of the snapping. Let's not turn that off entirely. Right here. There we go. This is going to look a little bit better. Just because the spacing is more even. And I think that matters. So we'll say right here and then... I feel like I'm having a Grinch moment, you know. And it's even, and I care. What is the deal? There we go, right there. All right, so I got everything good there. And we should see no car access. Excuse me? Apparently that needs to go over even more than that. Okay. Well, tell me, does this work for you? Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, that looks terrible. Or does it? Honestly, I don't care. It does what it needs to do, okay? And apparently people are gonna go in there anyway. It'd be really nice, actually, to have this be more along the lines of, like, a dedicated street and then parking. I think that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, this is just this road is just too close. We're not going to move this building, but I feel like we need to move this road instead. I might be just completely off here, but if I do something like this instead. Let's try... something more along the lines of this for this road to give more space here. And then we're going to take this road and wrap it around like that. Okay. And then we can bring it and connect it right here. As long as it doesn't make a bridge. It doesn't. It stays the wall. Good. So we can do something more like that. I think it would look a little bit better. And then we'll just have this road connect like that too. Okay, good. And I don't want any stoplights, so hopefully it's just stop signs. It is. Okay. And then from here, we'll put a parking lot over on this side. Oh, you're not going to give me zoning on this road? Really? Oh, I'm not unsnapping. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Maybe even a big lot? Nah, this one here's fine. Right here's fine. So a big parking lot for them to be able to park here is a good idea, I think. And then I'm not sure what to put here, you know? But I feel like we need to have like bus stations and, you know, bus stops at least to be over here on this side so they can get into the disease control center if they need to, and, you know, all these types of things. I feel like we need some of that. So we'll have a bus stop over there too. And I'll work on, you know, the bus routes and stuff off camera because they're not as interesting to show. And then on this road, we're going to bring you. Let's go about like this. Yeah, I'll hook you in right about here. That's going to work for me. Okay, so if I let this run for a bit, let's see how the traffic situation handles having this new road. The other thing I wanted to connect, right, is I want this to connect over and around. But again, I don't know if I really want to have this be this huge joint intersection though. So maybe we don't need this road to be quite so pushy. Can bring it to be, oh, sorry. I thought this was going to let me curve it again. There we go. It's this tool that I wanted, yeah. And then curve into there like that. All right, so we could do something like that. And then I'm just I don't know. Like, do I want people to go up and around just to go like that? Probably not, but they can also go this way, so maybe that's okay. We'll see how this works for now. I don't really want to do this. I feel like that's going to create some additional clutter that I didn't want to have, but I think a lot of people are going to use this street. I guess we could always do like a dual roundabout situation here too, right? If we were to go do something like this and then pop in another roundabout here, it'll remove, oh, it doesn't remove that building. Okay, we'll do that instead. This is going to be, I think, a little bit, this will be better. What I'm hoping doesn't happen is this, where people are going to stop here and they're going to get backed up, and then, yeah, it's going to restrict flow here. Everybody's going to get locked in. We're not going to do the roundabout there. Roundabout will get deleted. Yeah. Just let people come in and move around if they need to. They can go that way or they can go that way. Both are acceptable. And I guess what we could also do, maybe, if it lets me do this without disrupting my wall, is I could turn this into 2 different lanes here. On that side would be okay. And then if you let me do it here, that'd be good. You will, right? There. Perfect. All right, good. So now they actually have a choice of whether they want to go straight or out that way. It was almost always they will turn right here. Actually, they will always turn right there because there's no way to get, there's no place to go here yet. I still have to move the water pumping station somewhere else, but it's fine. I like the way this is going, you know? Everything seems to be flowing through here. And now the big question, we started this video about the flood. So will we get flooded now? Right? Because that was my whole big thing. I was just like, man, you know, I don't want to rage quit this game because of flooding. You know, because like, again, I don't know if my knowledge of fluid dynamics is up to snuff here, but I feel like if you don't add any additional flow, you shouldn't get any additional water, you know, unless you restrict flow somewhere, which I didn't do. I didn't restrict it anywhere that I didn't already have it restricted. Although, again, I think maybe putting this road on that side, maybe that restricted this a little bit too much. We'll see. So we're gonna like have to do this slowly. We're gonna break into this a little bit slowly and see how this goes. So we'll start out. No, we want lots of strength and we want to narrow. So we have about here. We're gonna start by just opening up a very small little channel right here, and I think we'll maybe get it to be, yeah, something like that. Right about there. Okay, now what I want to do is we're just going to go in with this tool really lightly, and we're going to start coming down. So right about like that. And now we should let the flow trickle in like a little waterfall, okay? We're going to open this up, let the water come in, and we'll see how that's treated. This wall is so much higher than it used to be. So I gotta imagine that we're fine now, but I don't know that, and I wanna play it safe. So let's this is really strong. We don't need that strong. Bigger and lighter. There we go. Okay, that's too light. Bring it up to 25 again. There we go. I want to get rid of the land being showing there. So I've connected this road here so they can get on this one, and then I don't really want them to be able to park on this street. I think probably having no parking here is a good idea. So what we could also do, we could add, can we add lights here? You won't let me add lights to this road? Huh? Just the trees, huh? Or the wide sidewalks? I think we'll try the grass. It doesn't even show up. It doesn't even show up. So, all right, well, I guess. Sure. I'm just trying to make it to where people don't park on this road. And they can definitely get into the disease control center over here, so that's great. They can work over here. We're gonna go ahead and make this parking like let's go $20 on that. Okay. Now, how is this road looking? It's pretty busy. I would say probably a good idea to have the lanes going away from this be bigger. So why don't we try this out? And if we do this, about like that. Should do it. Obviously, we don't want any zoning there. That's silly. Oh, nuts. No way, man. No way, man. No way, man. No. You gotta be out of your mind. Yep, it did. It connected it. Ah. That's a real shame. Because now I'm going to have to do this again, and it probably won't let me do it. Well, maybe. Oh, so happy that that actually worked. And then on this side, we'll do the same thing at the risk of destroying everything we love. Maybe it's okay. It looks like most people are going left. Most people are going to go left here, it seems. So, yeah, that's going to be fine. All right, good. We'll add additional capacity there. But there's still a lot of people here, so I do wish I had control of the lights, make a longer light on this way than that way kind of thing, but maybe the game is doing that for me. I don't think so. Oh, there's also the crosswalks that are... Yeah, the crosswalks need to go, too. We can't have these. Those need to go. If you want to cross somewhere else. That is definitely disrupting traffic, so we don't want people waiting for pedestrians there. Definitely not. If you're crossing, you cross over here. All right, cool. I mean, it's still not great, but they seem to be using this road to go this way and around rather than taking the big bridge. They're opting not to take the big bridge, which is a little concerning because they're already mostly going this way anyway, and the bridge can take them there. Well, I'm just giving them alternate routes. I don't know. How about we put another one over here? All right, we have one right here. And we can put another bridge right here. And we'll probably, I don't know exactly which direction they're going to be more frequent on here, but I think as long as I can just grab right here to here, just an extra little bridge. Who knows who will use it? But it's another way to cross the river, huh? I think that'll work well. People are out of water here. Okay. Well, I don't exactly know how high up this is going to go, but for now we can make that happen. We'll just put it over here. Say right here should be fine. And then we'll put a road, a little baby road right there. And then let's just, it doesn't matter right now, but we'll just get rid of the light. All right. So that should help with the water situation. Oh, there we go. And I know a lot of these businesses have icons. I know that they're all complaining about the lack of high-skilled labor and things. It's all about colleges. We need people to go to college and graduate and go to work, right? So I need more apartments and stuff over here. I was enjoying how wooded this area was. I thought this was really nice to have near this college, but it does need to be developed a bit further. I also was looking at these buildings, and I don't think I like how tall these are. I think I want these to be lower. So I'm going to give them the demand for offices. Well, they already have the demand. I'm going to give them the supply for additional office development right over here instead. And we're going to allow them to build those big, tall offices right there instead. And then we can remove this and make it to be the lower density instead. So they'll have to tear these down and rebuild them to be, lower. I think that's going to be better for me. I don't want that to be really tall buildings over there. And then I want the really tall buildings to be over here. So we're going to have additional developments with offices and stuff right over here. I think I want to leave this open though. I'm going to leave this wide open. No tall buildings right here because we got helicopters that come in right there, right? So let's leave that open. Same thing with over here. We can have buildings, but no really tall ones. Okay, so how about we go to like small commercial buildings are fine in this area. I would be fine with that. You guys can develop that like that if you'd like. We can go with additional commercial there. And how about we You know, I'm actually okay with commercial development being here. We don't need it wide open, but I just don't want tall things here is where I'm going with this, right? No tall things here. So we'll let some businesses exist, and then, you know, people will be right here. As far as walking paths go, I don't do enough of these pedestrian paths. I should do more of these. I think I'm going to get in the way of a building developing here, but I think I'm going to make a path that takes them maybe right through here. Yeah, so let's get up a sidewalk that comes through here. And then from... yeah, I don't know if this is going to matter. I don't know if anybody's going to use this, but we could get a sidewalk that comes through here. Yeah, that building's going to be abandoned now, but that's okay. It'll rebuild itself. Or it won't. Now there's no zoning there anymore. That's good. If there's no zoning there anymore, then that means I can remake this a little bit cleaner. Where'd it go? Right over here. Keep forgetting where it is because I don't use the tool very much. Although, parks. An outdoor gym being here would be kind of interesting. There's not really a whole lot of people living here though, so like an outdoor gym here doesn't make much sense, does it? No, that doesn't make any sense. Let's not do that. You know, honestly, let's just leave it as commercial. I'm all right with it. I don't need to mess with things, all right? Just do what works, and that's good. So, like, after I created this bridge, it's creating additional traffic buildups here. So it's really interesting to me to, like, watch how traffic flows, right? I make this bridge, and now all of these guys are just completely ignoring this one and going straight over to this one. So clearly, their destination is... like over in this side. Like we have a lot of cars over here. Just like this is all gridlock right now. Traffic is terrible right here now. It's almost like making this bridge screwed everything. It's crazy how that works. You make an extra route and you're thinking, hey, options are a good thing. But if everybody chooses that new option, then options are a bad thing because I want them to use a higher capacity road. Now they'll use this one instead of that one, which will probably open this flow up a bit more. We won't have everything so gridlocked here now, right? So by making this bridge, it screwed it. Which is, you know, something to look at. You know, you look at things like that when you're playing this game. You make something and you get to see what happens after a result of it, you know? I'm sure there are people, obviously, like city planners and stuff that play this. I get that. And I don't anticipate having like a huge following with this game just because not only do I not know the game really well, but like I'm not like a city planner or anything, so it makes sense that, you know, some people would be better at this than others. If you already knew that, you would have never made the bridge in the first place, that kind of thing. And there's already a bridge over here, so I mean, I've given an adequate number of bridges to cross this river. I feel like I think at this point we're pretty good on the bridges. I'll have another one over here probably at some point, but should I just unleash the river? Is that what we should do here? You just turn it on and see what happens. Let's open this up a bit and see whether or not we get screwed by the water flowing in. So it's a little bit faster flow now. It's gonna rush in like the dam just broke, and we'll see if it messes with me at all. Also, I want this to be lower, right through here. There we go. So let's see if this leads to more floods, huh? It's a lot more flood resistant now than it used to be, I think. Certainly in a better condition than it was before, I think. There we go, and then through like that. Oh, hang on, missing a little piece right here. There we go. Barely big enough for this. Yeah, for a 90 brush size to fit through there. Kind of wild. Okay, so I think this can handle it now. So I'm going to go ahead and release this part here. Okay, so we've been building up a big pool of water here, right? I'm gonna go ahead and let it in. So we're gonna go like this. And we are going to let the water in now. So let's see what happens right there. All right, so the water's going to come through. We're going to, you know, start it out nice and slow. Let's not let it come in super fast. And with this much higher up wall now, we're going to probably see the wall disappear. I bet the water gets to about here. And that's what I'm counting on because I didn't make it any taller than that. I'm hoping that the water just gets to there and that's it. I'm hoping it doesn't get higher than this, but I don't know, man. That might be cutting it close. I might need to go higher on this, which is easier to do because there's no zoning there anyway. So I can always raise that up, but it doesn't displace any buildings. And then I want this to come all the way around, but I kind of like to see where the water ends up before we do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just open this up all the way, this part here. All right, so I let it run for about an in-game month. And this is where the water level is over here right now. It's definitely creeping up there. I don't know if it's going to keep rising, but I wanted to give you an update before all the shit hit the fan. Now this one is more than high enough, so I probably could have went a little bit more gentle on this part, but I just really wanted to make sure, absolutely certain, you know. Over here on this side, everything is looking pretty good here. Remember, this part here was underwater, and it's underwater again right under the bridge. I did say that might be a problem. But this part here seems to be holding up okay for now. So that's good. There is still this little bit of extra water in here that I need to do something about. But the only part that I need to fix now that's actually underwater is this part here. So hey, that's not too bad. You know, it could have been a lot worse. We'll just delete this part right here and remake that. No big deal there. We do have some traffic issues for sure. I'm going to have to take a look at the traffic issues here too. A lot of the traffic issues that are happening right here have to do with this pedestrian bridge. So I've made a pedestrian bridge right here in hopes that I could connect this heavily populated residential area with this over here in these commercial zones and allowing people to just to walk there. So I wanted to give them a way to do that. And a lot of people are opting to walk here. So many people opting to walk, which is, it's helping out a lot, I think. But the problem is they're crossing in front of traffic. And so all these cars have to wait for all these pedestrians. So had the right idea, wrong execution. Let's fix it. We're going to head and go like this, and then we're going to go about like this. And we're just going to delete this real quick. And what we'll do instead is, instead of curving the bridge like that, am I going to drop them in the river? Okay, they continue to walk in the air until they're in their destination. Okay, I had to know. What we're going to do is we're going to take this pedestrian bridge instead, and let's go ahead and connect it. We're going to say, now there's still a lot of pedestrians making this walk, and I don't want to hold up traffic here either, right? So what we probably should do actually is pull this all the way back to here and do this. I think that's what we'll do instead. We've got cable style pedestrian bridges, covered pedestrian bridge. I think the covered one seems like a cool thing to do here. So we'll probably do a covered bridge instead here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab you and we're going to go out this way. Let's turn the snapping off real quick. We're going to go out. It says the slope is too steep, but I just don't believe you. We're going to go about here. All right. And then at this point, what I want to do is we're going to start raising you up. Let's go 10 meters up. Now that's quite the track, actually. That's a really steep climb. Let's maybe do that from a little bit further back. And we don't really need to go up 10 meters. I think I can probably get away with half that, right? So let's maybe do half the elevation step here to 5 instead, right? So we'll go in, we'll make this from here, we'll step up. And we'll go and curve it around like this. There we go. And now we're up about 5 meters. I don't know if 2.5 is enough. I really want to be up 5. And it looks like it's just not going to let me do that. It's just a little bit too steep. So I have to come back even further. Okay. No big deal. We'll just come over and we'll do it again. Okay. Step down. Come about this far, let's say. Okay. This is fine. And then from here, we'll go up 1, 2, and we'll step. Now we're 5 meters up. And then while we're 5 meters up, we'll head all the way over to this side. And what I want to see is something like this. Yes. I want to see something like this. I want it to come all the way across. And the problem is like getting down, right? Getting down is going to be the biggest challenge here. But if I can do something like this, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. I kind of want to go straight though. I need to make sure that we are, and see how it's dipping down. I don't want it to dip low. So I'm going to have to go even higher. It looks like, yeah, like this. So I need to go up even higher so that this thing doesn't dip lower. There we go. Just keep this straight. All right. And then from there, high up like this, we stop that right there. I think that's going to look a lot better. And then as we come over this side, we don't want it to come up higher. We actually want it to start dropping down from here. So we're going to say, looks like about this far. Yep. And it's not quite 180 degrees on that. I want it to be about 180 over there. That's good. Right about there. And if we could maybe not snap, what is it? I want the angles. I think this is going to be, yeah, that works for me. All right, good. And then from here, we just need to come down. Now, coming down on this part needs to step back. And I'm really hoping that this pulls a lot of people from driving in cars to, you know, walking this. And I don't want it to... This is a problem. I'm going to have to displace that building if I'm not careful here. So let's go about like this. And then drop down from there to 0 on this side. There we go, to there. So now the building doesn't have to get displaced. Good. So they can walk all the way across this. Now, how do they get onto this? What if they do want to walk here, right? This is the part where I'm just going to take the walking path on this side. And I'm really hoping I don't have to replace this building, but we'll see. And just do this. Man, I really was hoping that that would work. Right here. Can I do that? You got rid of zoning on that building for that? Come on, really? No way. I don't believe you. It did, though. It got rid of the zoning on that building. That's wild. It's on this side. I left the space on this side for that very reason. I'm going to make this work, you guys. Okay, so in order to make it work, I actually did need to delete both of these buildings. It just wasn't going to happen. For some reason, making the path on this side just disrupted this one. And if I go enough over to where this one doesn't get disrupted, this one dies. And then there's actually a spot where I thought I could get both of them not to be interrupted, but actually it did both of them instead of them. It was weird. I just deleted them both so I can have the shape I want. So now we have a ton of pedestrians crossing this river, and they're not getting in the way of traffic. No crossings. We also have this extra path from here. It comes out and gets over into here so people can get over to this side, but they do not cross the road here. At least they're not supposed to, but you know, they still jaywalk. And then there's over here, kind of the same thing. They can get on this side of the road, and all the businesses and stuff are on this side anyway. So that's where I want them to be. If they do want to cross for any reason, we can do so in other places, right? We can find another place for that to happen at some point. I also want to have other types of walking paths around through here. So like I could put a path right here that comes around to this side. That might be interesting so that they don't have to come over here where the roundabout is. So we could, you know, make this place a little bit more walkable by just kind of coming over behind. I was going to say behind this building. Yeah, definitely behind this building here. Let's kind of do one of these numbers. It doesn't mess with any zoning. At least it doesn't look like it does. And then you can do the same thing over on this side. And it says something about invalid shape. Okay. This is not an invalid shape. This one works. And then it would be about here. And then it comes around, hopefully like this. Yep, like that. And it doesn't get in the way of the building. Very good. So now we have another walking path from there to here. And that might allow them to want to walk here because they don't have to go all the way around anymore. So that might change things up. I would love to put a walking path right between these two buildings, but I don't think I can. I don't think it's going to let me do this without, again, messing up the building. That's definitely going to mess up that building. Yeah, so I don't think there's anywhere this will go. Oh. No way. For real? Oh, I think I just did it. Nope, they're both. Yeah, this is the same thing that happened last time. So it looks like it's not going to disrupt them, but actually it does both. So we don't want that. So, okay, so we'll let that be where it is here, and then they can just walk from there up around if they want to. I'm going to start looking at ways to get more people walking if I can, because that's going to alleviate the traffic issues. If we take a look over here, it does look like we do have some flooding in this area. Very strange to have flooding in this area, but it is approaching, right? We're still getting it raised up, and that's a shame. Like, what is going on over here, man? Like, how did you bypass this road, you know? I don't think it actually serves as a wall. I think that's what it really is. What it boils down to is this is not actually a wall. It just looks like a wall, but it isn't actually a wall. So I'm going to need to flatten this and bring the terrain up to be where this road is. Bring that terrain all the way up this high, probably even higher if I can. Yeah, we're just going to go up even higher than this. There we go. Bring this terrain all the way up like that. And right around like this. Right? And then now this terrain is raised this high. And I'll just have to keep an eye out for every place where it floods. But I mean, we avoided the massive flood that was going to happen. I know it's going to happen because I got surprised by it while I was thinking around with something else. So I still don't understand where the extra water is coming from. Like, did the river just increase its flow for any reason? Or is it because of these walls being on both sides now that I've created sort of a choke point where it can't flow? You know, I think that's might be what it is. As soon as I unlock new tiles, I am going to redirect this river to come around so that some of that water can be directed over here. And then we'll have extra water in this creek, which is outside this. It's after the city. So now I'm going to give a way for this to, a way for the water to come over here and get around the city instead of having to come through. I love this pedestrian bridge is awesome. I don't know if it's the right shape, but it's going to work wonders. There's a lot of people there that don't have to ride the buses, a lot of people that don't have to drive cars. And I realize that reduces my fares, but I'm hoping it alleviates traffic congestion because I have too much traffic as is, and that hurts my fares too. There's other traffic issues over here, looks like. We've got a big old accident over here. Wow. It's stopping the entire freeway. You guys are holding up the entire freeway for this accident. Yikes. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, work your way around if you can. You got people standing around. I actually like how this is working. Look at this thing. This car is upside down. You know, this trailer's sideways. Who knows where the actual truck is for this trailer? Probably drove away. But people are trying to maneuver. Here's getting airlifted out with the helicopters. Love it. Road crews cleaned it up, and there it goes. I think this is busy enough. Maybe going into this area. I think this is busy enough to where I should look at expanding this highway on this side. I think I should look at maybe getting this to be just a tad bit wider on this side. So why don't we look at doing that? Well, maybe from right here, we can go in and do something like this. And I think from there, we'll go ahead and have that happen and that happen. And we can also move this to be over a bit like so. That makes way more sense to me. So if you're going straight through, left 2 lanes. If you're going over here, right 2 lanes. And then you're already on the correct side that you want to be on at that point. That makes way more sense to me. Over here could be the same thing, but it's not nearly as busy. So I'm going to let that exist for now. But, you know, I think things are looking out. I've played this way too long. I mean, I haven't given you guys a video in City Skylines in over a week. So, you know, hey, now you get a really long one, okay? I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, all your support. Special thank you to the patrons and members who help keep this channel alive when times like this happen and you can't have as many videos as usual. Yeah, I have to look at traffic and try to find alternatives. I'm thinking this connected to this could provide a meaningful alternative as well. Yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.